no better place to start than where we just were with Matthew Golden and what's going on in Green Bay, because every single time you open your computer, if you're a Green Bay Packer fan, if you're searching the term Packers, what's popping up is Matthew Golden shines. Matthew Golden dominates practice. Matthew Golden impressing again. And I will be very honest with the audience. We've done a lot of Matthew Golden content on this show so far, and I haven't really truly bought into the hype other than just like, I acknowledge that he's having really good practices and stuff. But personally, I'm not afraid of Matthew Golden, but I'm starting to get a little bit more. Bless you.
Well, I was offended watching our show back without me on Monday. You do one show without me and we say, who's going to win the wide receiver one job? Oh, it's Jaden Reed. I don't know. Maybe it's the guy that's blowing up Carrington Valentine and Nate Hobbs in practice. The guy where the Packers have to post a multiple minute long highlight video on their Twitter because he's doing so well. I get that it's training camp.
I'm so losing him.
Right? So like you can't read so much into this. But the way guys move is the way guys move, right? How they run routes is how they run routes. And Matthew Golden, I really think, has had an outstanding training camp. The only training camp I can remember that was better was Justin Jefferson's.
It's you feel like a lost cause soon, Ziggy.
I mean, you could also tell though he is just the natural ability to play receiver. Matthew Golden's going to be their best receiver.
Yeah, he'll be the one. I know we were talking about Reed last episode, and I like Jaden Reed a lot. Like I've always been a big Jaden Reed guy. I've never have Packers players on my fantasy teams. Like that is a rule that I've always stuck to up until Ziggy and I have this dynasty league with like 20 roster spots, and I think I had like final pick of the draft a couple of years ago. I got Jaden Reed, so he was just rotting on my bench, and all of a sudden, 2 years ago, I'm like, oh shit! Like at the end of the year, this guy could play, and I started rooting for Jaden Reed, fantasy wise, but yeah, I can't go back to it. But if I had to take a Packer receiver, yeah, all the signs on Matthew Golden are there. The special teams coordinator Rich Bisaccia, who, as everyone knows, had the Raiders on that the playoff run a couple of years ago. Did you guys hear about the new nickname that he gave for Golden?
The Golden Boy.
That's a good one.
Golden
but that's not it. Did you see it, Ziggy?
What is it, Paul?
Bullet. Which I personally, as a Viking fan, I don't like hearing any of the Packers players with the nickname Bullet. But he gave it to him after Bullet Bob Hayes, the Cowboys receiver, who's the only man ever to win both a Super Bowl and an Olympic gold medal. He ran the 100-meter in the 1964 Tokyo Olympics.
Bullet,
also number 22. And Matthew, it's a different class of speed. 4.29 at the 40-yard dash.
Bullet sounds like a fourth grade rec running back.
Yeah.
Oh, Bullet.
Yeah. I think Bisaccia is the only one who calls him that, but that's just kind of, 4.29 speed is that's elite. That's legit stuff, right?
I ran an untimed 4.5.
4.5.
Seriously,
4.5 is really good.
Back when
4.29 is a different class. Again,
what's that? A step or two behind?
It matters in the National Football League.
That's all you need to get separation in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about Matthew Golden that I think is really standing out is if you're a Packers fan, they don't usually talk about rookies like this. Usually at this point in training camp, if you're a rookie, like every single other rookie they drafted, they're on the second team or the third team. They're taking snaps. They're learning. The fact that they feel ready to come out and put this kind of attention on Matthew Golden and have him already rotating in with the ones means clearly inside the building, they think this guy's an exception to their usual rule. They think he's special.
A mix of his speed and like his route running, his ability to move is going to be a big separating factor with him and the other Packers wide receiver.
And they're good. I like them. All the news on these guys is great. We were talking about Wicks the other day.
Like Golden and Reed could be dirty as a 1, too.
And I think Wicks is a 3. It's all. And Romy and Dobbs is there too. That's the thing about this Packer offense that's
almost good as
scary.
Pittsburgh.
If they're all elevating their games, which it is preseason. It is training camp. But all the signs are there. And what did we talk about at the very beginning of training camp when it came to Matthew Golden? Do you guys remember me saying when you have studs, they usually find a way to separate themselves? Like you'll hear about it. And the hope was that it would just be, training camp as usual. And, Matthew Golden looks okay. But the reports aren't just that Matthew Golden looks okay. It's like he is clearly on a tier above. And he's clearly like showing the potential to be a star. And that's exactly what I said. If he's going to be a star, you'll probably start hearing about it. And whether it's Andy Herman or our buddy Baserski, like all these guys who are at Packer training camp every day are going, man, this is Rob Domofsky. Like they're all like, he's unbelievable.
And you'd rather hear all this than hear like, oh, Matthew Golden's dropping passes and being guarded well.
And they'll be super valuable too, because with Christian Watson out, you kind of lose your field stretcher. And I think that if Watson gets back, if he finds playing time in there, or if people aren't traded, that's just another way that you have more speed on the field. Just giving Matthew Golden the football. I know they're giving him some end arounds in practice the other day. When you have a guy who can move like this, just give him the rock and let him take it to the house. Like it's going to be fun for Packers fans. I mean, this is a first round talent that seems to have all the skill sets needed to break onto the scene.
Yeah, give the bullet the rock.
Yeah, give the bullet the rock. I'm not happy seeing this. I'm really not happy about Ziggy.
Ziggy is.
I mean, I'm going to be happy until he carves up the Vikings.
Ziggy's through the roof about it.
I'm still, you know what it is with Matthew Golden is he doesn't have the feeling to me of like, the hype around Marvin Harrison Jr. and the hype around even Malik Neighbors last season. A lot of these receivers that you see go early in round one, like remember CeeDee Lamb, tons of hype.
Well, it's because he didn't go early in round one.
No, he didn't, but I'm sorry. A round one receiver. Like, yeah, where'd he go? 21, 22, 20?
Yeah, he was
23?
the third wide receiver taken at 23.
Still, yeah, it's like, I guess it's, where it kind of fits in a little bit more, not to equate the players, but it kind of like Justin Jefferson, right? We took Justin Jefferson and there was not a lot of hype around Justin Jefferson coming in, other than the people who saw him play, and that were like, this guy's going to shock some people. And that's kind of what you've seen when people talk about Golden. But I think part of the reason that it's, in my mind, at least as a Viking fan, I'm not going, man, I'm really nervous about this guy, is because he didn't have the draft day hype other than the 4.29, which is something. But he didn't have that hype that usually you see with the top 10 receivers. And now as this is coming out, this is where I'm starting to think a little bit more to myself, like, okay, this could be a problem.
But even so, with regardless of hype coming out of college, you do have to see when it's the regular season performance.
Oh yeah.
Like, so obviously as a Vikings fan, yeah, it sucks to be hearing all this with Matthew Golden. But if he's on the field week 1, week 2, week 3, and it's the regular season and he's not performing, like you have to see it first.
Like Justin Jefferson in week 3 at 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, like when defenses are trying to lock you up and you're a rookie, prove that you can perform there. And nothing against Matthew Golden here. Like, I'm sure he's going to be awesome, but I'm saying just pump the brakes a little bit.
But this is where, and if you are going to buy into the hype, so I actually think, as far as like overreaction, underreaction, like I do not think that this is an overreaction. I think that it's I think him playing this way and looking this good, I think is a great sign for the Packers, and I would buy into the hype. And I'd start thinking to myself, man, if he becomes a top 10, top 12 receiver in football, maybe top 15, like we don't have to get crazy here. But if he can start entering those conversations, you see what these stud receivers do to teams. That's the whole point here. The Packers saying they need a number one receiver. It's not that they don't have receiving talent. It's look at the transformations on these teams that get the stud receiver. Remember, it's like what Diggs did for Josh Allen, what AJ Brown did for Hurts, and Jefferson for the Vikings. Like when you have that guy, it opens everything up. And that's where the Packers offense goes from a very good one with a focus on Josh Jacobs at the moment to we're just going to light you up.
I'd say it's a slight overreaction only because it's
training camp.
It's training camp.
So you do over under?
I lean on the dot / under. I think people are going to look at this as yet another story of a guy looking good in training camp. But I think if you understand the Packers and how they operate, they believe in this guy big time. And when they've got someone in the building they believe in, it usually turns out pretty well.
I just think that regardless, before we move on here real quick, regardless of what he was going to do in training camp, unless he was flat out terrible, we'd be hearing good reviews.
Yes.
So that's why I'd say it's a bit of an overreaction.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's one thing. I talked about this with a friend yesterday. It's one thing to like look at the media reports and see, okay, they're saying he's good. But when you actually watch what he's doing, right? This is what's nice about being in the social media. You can go on Twitter and just type in like Matthew Golden and actually see what he's doing.
Yeah.
He looks like that guy. This isn't like the Packers beat reporter that needs access to the team saying, hey guys, they're rookie. It doesn't suck. Please don't cut off my access and take away my press credential. Right, like that's what happens with the Knicks every year, right? You're required to say every player the Knicks drafted is unbelievable because otherwise Dolan's going to get you banned from the building. You can actually see what's happening, and what it looks like is outstanding.
But I also bet there's been a lot of mistakes and stuff that aren't posted.
Oh,
Like, Twitter
I mean,
reminds me.
Andy Herman's talked about when he struggled out there too.
Yeah, I mean, like what do I post on Instagram? It's the life highlights.
You need to have your. You need to have your like.
I want the whole world of national TV watching Matthew Golden in a regular season game.
Yes, you need to have your reporters that you trust and look at what they're saying, because there are a lot of accounts where it's like there's one of them for the Vikings that's just like,
oh, that guy just makes stuff up.
Yeah, he just makes, and like I know he makes stuff up, but there are people who will DM us clips and be like, "Do you see JJ McCarthy threw his 4th interception today?" I'm like, no, that was actually Kirk Cousins from 2022. Or it's like, yeah, did you see JJ McCarthy's 60-yard touchdown to Justin Jefferson? Like that's one of the clips he posted. You go, well, no, that was Jalen Nailor. Like Jefferson's not playing right now. Yeah. And you have guys do this where it's like McCarthy's gonna be a problem next year, and it's a little scramble. Like that's where you get all this exaggeration. And I mean, we fall victim to it too sometimes. I mean, with our titling to a degree.
Everybody does.
Like we try and have exciting titles, and yeah, every once in a while it will toe the line of this is hyperbole, and I don't like that, and I try not to do it. Ziggy's looking, he's like, you like it, like that's my job, but for real, you need to try and keep it in check, because otherwise when people do the incredible things, you're desensitized to it. I knew I said it, and I was waiting to see if you were gonna. I was hoping I wasn't gonna get called out for it, but you're desensitized to the great plays, because every single training camp thing is Drake May problem. And it's like,
right, that's all it is.
It's like an out route. Like let's relax here.